Hi, welcome back to the Amoretti Test Kitchen. I'm Lauren and I'm super excited to have you here today because we're making a really fun recipe using our flavor of the month. This month it is our Pistachio Butter Artisan. This can be used in hundreds of different things. You can make cake, icings, ice cream, put it in a smoothie. But today we're going to be making edible cookie dough. It's really simple to make. You only need a few ingredients. The most important part of this recipe is to make sure your flour is heat treated. You can do this in the oven, set it to 350 and bake it for about 5 minutes until it hits 160 or 165, or in the microwave in 30-second intervals. You want to heat treat your flour because, like eggs and regular cookies, it is a raw ingredient. You don't want to eat it if it's not cooked. This could harvest bacteria if you don't heat treat it. And this is the only way you can make edible cookie dough. I mean, I know we're all guilty of taking a couple scoops out of our batter when we're gonna bake it, but if you're really gonna go to town, you wanna have some heat treated flour just so you don't have any risks. So again, this recipe, super simple to make. You can use a stand mixer, you can use a hand mixer, either one you have on hand or prefer using. We're going to start with 1 cup of butter. We are going to put that into our mixer. And you want to make sure this is room temperature. You want it to be softened, otherwise it's not going to mix up if it's hard. And then we're going to put in some brown sugar and some regular granulated sugar. Just place that all into your mixer and we'll just blend this together until it is well combined. I'm just going to lightly scrape down the sides just to make sure everything gets really nice and combined. It's looking pretty good already, but we'll give it a couple seconds longer to mix together the butter and sugar. This is nice and mixed together. We are going to add in our vanilla bean artisan flavor. I personally just love using our vanilla bean artisan because it does contain the real vanilla beans, and I feel like it gives a very robust vanilla flavor opposed to using just your typical vanilla extract. And I love to see the little specks of vanilla beans and things. But unfortunately, because this recipe is a little bit darker in color, you don't get to see as many of the vanilla beans, but it still tastes and smells so good. So just 1 tablespoon. Make sure we get everything out. I don't like to waste any flavor. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. If you are a pistachio lover, just smelling this is going to like make you happy. And the color is gorgeous. It's a very nice deep green. And now I'm going to just add in some milk. All right, and let's just turn on the mixer and we'll mix this up until it's well combined again. I'm gonna scrape down the sides, just make sure everything is nice and combined in there. So I wanna make sure all the flavor is evenly dispersed. And on again with the mixing. All right, she's looking good here. We are going to prepare our flour. I have a little bit of salt right here. I have about half a teaspoon. We are also going to be mixing in some crushed pistachios. So if you are using salted pistachios, just use half a teaspoon of salt. If your pistachios are unsalted, you can go up to maybe 1 teaspoon, 3/4 teaspoon. You just don't want this to be overly salty. It will not be very delightful. So we'll just mix this in. And also sometimes your flour may get a little clumpy when you heat treat it. So just try and break up some of those clumps. If it's super clumpy, sift your flour in or sift it before putting it in. I'm just going to slowly add in our flour here. I'm gonna do it about a cup or so at a time. Turn it on low and begin to mix. All right, it's looking good. I'm gonna scrape down the sides a little bit and add in some more flour. So again, about another cup or so. All right, I'm just going to add in the rest of our flour now. So let's scrape, 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 and in with the rest of our flour. All right, one last mix and one last scrape, and then we will add in our inclusions. All right, one final scrape. We wanna make sure we get all that flour mixed in. All right, here we go. We're all mixed up here, so we are going to add in our inclusions. I just have some crushed up white chocolate chips. Put those in. And also some crushed pistachio pieces. Give it that extra crunch and burst of pistachio flavor. And just mix it up on low to medium or so. You don't want to overmix it. All right, it's done. Let's take this down and get it into a jar and take a big, big, safe spoonful because this is edible cookie dough. It is meant to eat straight out of the jar. You guys, can you see this? That is absolutely beautiful. It's like a nice pistachio green. This is literally the color green you think of when you think of pistachios. So I'm just gonna try and carefully put it in this jar, as carefully as I can. Oh my gosh, and the consistency is absolutely perfect. And it might not all fit in one jar. This is a little bit of a bigger recipe. You can always cut it in half if you don't want so much. This does last in the refrigerator for about 5 days. All right, it's time to give it a try. Let me get a spoon and do a little taste test. Oh my gosh, it looks so good. It's so fluffy. Oh my gosh. If you're a fan of eating raw cookie dough, it's your guilty pleasure when you're baking, you gotta try this. It is so good, it's safe to eat. You can store it in the fridge and take a big spoonful anytime you please. So I highly recommend, give it a try, or give our flavor of the month a try in any of your other baked goods, your ice cream, your icing, anything you can think of. You know, it's your imagination is your biggest gift. It's just so much fun to play around with. Well, I really, really hope you guys enjoyed this recipe and you give it a try at home. It is super simple to make and the entire family will definitely love it. If you don't want to do pistachio, you can swap this flavor out for any of our artisan or compound flavors. It's super simple, and you can swap out the inclusion. So you can do birthday cake with some sprinkles and maybe some milk chocolate chips. It's just all up to your imagination. Also, if you guys don't want to miss any of our new recipes, be sure to hit that subscribe link below so you'll get a notification. You can also find us on social media at Amoretti on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. See you next time.